If I'm being honest, I'm grateful for how that relationship ended. It broke me. It broke me in so many ways you can't even imagine. And there was no pain like that. I've been through so many surgeries, been through so much, been through a lot. And none of that even compares to that. Because that kind of pain wakes you up. It forces you to see things you weren't seeing. Not just what happened, but what you were doing inside of it. And for me, there was no one else to blame. This all falls on me. What I allowed, what I kept doing, even when I knew better. That's what I had to face. And let me tell you something. It was brutal. I mean, brutal. That relationship didn't just break me. It showed me exactly what I was doing. Chasing, holding on, refusing to let go. And I knew it. I knew it wasn't right. And I kept doing it anyways. Because I had made her my everything. Everything I thought I needed. Everything I thought I was. So when that was gone, I had nothing. That's why I couldn't let go. That's why I kept pushing. That's why I kept chasing, even when I knew better. But that's when I finally saw it. Not just what happened, but what I did. I wasn't just losing her, because I already lost myself. And I gave that away too. Because every time I chased, every time I ignored what I knew, every time I stayed when I should have stepped back, I was giving pieces of myself away freely. No one took them from me. I let it happen. Time and time again. And I remember that moment, and it finally hit me so hard. Holy shit, Jason. You let that happen for years, and you did nothing. And I caused it. That was the moment I couldn't ignore anymore. That's when everything started to change. Not because I figured out anything, but because staying there started to feel worse than moving. That's it. That's when everything changed. It wasn't courage, it wasn't clarity. It was just, I can't sit here anymore. And I remember that moment very well. Even thinking about moving back then scared me to death. But I did it anyways. And then when I look at myself now, I'm not even close to who I was. Not even close. Everything I went through, all the pain, all that pressure, it didn't just change me, it transformed me. It forced me to see everything I needed to fix. And I did the work. I faced it. I owned it. I worked it. And somewhere along the way, I became someone really different. Not trying to be better, not trying to fix everything, but I became new. I am not the man that I was anymore. I'm just Jason. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I have arrived.